Chris here, Keystone Lawn and Tree Care. Today we have a special guest and we have gone to StandOut Promotions. And Jennifer, what is StandOut Promotions all about?
Thanks, Chris, for coming in today. At StandOut Promotions, we are your one-stop shop for everything your business needs. We do screen printing, embroidery, signs, graphics, vehicles, anything you need to market your business, we do at StandOut.
You know, I bought my sign here at StandOut, and it's super important. You've heard me talk on the channel about why it's so important to have a sign for the side of your truck, but don't just take my word for it. Take it from the professionals here. Jennifer, why is it important?
Well, Chris, I think the main reason is when someone's in the market, let's say they need lawn care, and they're thinking and they're trying to figure out, they're overly sensitized to messages and signs and banners that have that. If you don't have a sign on your truck or you're not marketing in a certain way, they won't think of you. So putting that sign on your truck allows people, when they're thinking about it, to call, and those are the customers you want.
Now, say I'm just getting started out in my business and I don't know anything about signage. I don't even know how to use my computer. I don't know how to use the graphics. You know, I have kind of a vague idea in the back of my mind of what I wanted. Are you guys able to help me when I'm starting my business?
Yeah, absolutely. We have full-time graphic designers on hand and in-house, and we use the philosophy of keep it simple. We just really want to make sure your message is out there, that people know exactly what you do and how you do it and a number to call, so we can help through that whole entire process.
Nice. But you know, I'm just starting my business and I'm on a bit of a budget. You know, I'm just starting out. I don't have a lot of money. What are my options when I come into a place like this? I'm kind of overwhelmed. I see these great signage, you know, I see all these hats and t-shirts, and I see the guys working in the back room. They're putting graphics on the side of the truck. Like, I'm a little overwhelmed, and I only have a small budget. Like, how can you help me there?
So the good thing about, we are a small, locally owned business, and what we know more than anything is the struggle and the hard work it takes and the cost to start a small business. So we really want to work with you wherever you're at. I know there's different companies all around, but you can go in and they can help you put together a budget that really works for you and where you're at to get those little things you can do.
Yeah, sure. That's really important. You know, when you're first getting started, you don't really know how much this stuff costs. You know, when I first got my first sign years and years ago, about 10 years ago, I was just floored. I was like, whoa. And then, you know, like then the t-shirts and, you know, the hats and stuff, and it's all really overwhelming. So it's good to know that, you know, maybe I can just come in and get a few shirts. Now, what is typically like a minimum order? Like if I wanted to get, could you do 5 shirts or 10 shirts or 100 shirts? What does an order look like?
So embroidery and screen printing are very different. And there's also something called full color heat press. So screen printing, how it works is you burn film. It's like back in the olden days. You print the film, you burn it, and then you pull ink through it. So with screen printing, because the setup is so large, there's a 12 minimum on screen printing. But let's say you have a logo that's 7 colors and you want to screen print some t-shirts, then I would push you for, because you only want 2 t-shirts. That's what you can afford right now. And I get that. So we have an option for those people to do a full color heat press vinyl on a t-shirt. So kind of like some of the Nike logos and different things like that. Okay. That's a heat press applique versus ink that's pressed on a shirt. Embroidery is you have a one-time setup fee and you can do 1 or 2 items at a time. Because what we do is we get the machine and we tell it exactly where to stitch, and then we can put 1 item on, stitch it out, and done. So there's not extra work to initially do that setup. So all different options depending on your budget and what you need.
So I can go from just a few to 100, and there's all this in between too. That's really good. All right, so when you're first getting started, you may be starting in your car or maybe just an old crummy pickup truck, and you don't want to spend the money to have some nice wrap or maybe a giant sign tacked to the side. You know, what are my options? I've seen these magnetic things out there. How do those work?
So you definitely can get magnets that go on the side of your car. The vinyl on top of the magnet would be the same type of magnet. Some people like it because, you know, once you put your logo on your truck, and once you have that on, Yeah, and well, it can come off, but here's the deal. You need to be a courteous driver.
Yeah.
You need to go the speed limit. You
Yeah.
can't do anything that's questionable because they see your logo.
Yeah,
and
hello, sign company. Do you have a cover you can throw up on the side of my truck today? I'm
Yeah.
speeding.
Yeah. So the thing I don't like about the magnets, they fall off. Your truck has to be clean for them to stick. And part of the problem with a magnet is you look kind of like a fly-by-nighter.
Yeah, good point.
So we want to know that you're reputable, you're going to be here next year, you're in the community, and really vinyl on the side of a door is not that much more expensive than a magnet. We usually say it's about $75 per location, and I like the look of it. It makes you professional. It's like when you read something, it just seems like gospel, right? When you read it on the door and it's there to stay, it just makes you look a little bit better.
I hear what you're saying. I got one of those free magnets from Vistaprint or something when I first got started. It was really cheap. I just threw it on the side of my truck, and about a week later, it blew off and it was laying in the ditch, and I had no idea where it was. So I understand having, if you can't afford it, maybe wrapping the entire truck, a door or something would be certainly more affordable.
Yeah.
Jennifer, what are these guys doing behind me here?
Well, Chris, so this is kind of what I was talking about. They are vinyling, putting vinyl on the side of a vehicle. It's kind of like the difference between that magnet versus the vinyl. It's not huge. We're not wrapping the entire truck, but we're getting the name and phone number and website all on the side of the truck, and we're doing it within just a couple hours.
Wow, just a couple hours, just in and out. What is going on behind us here? I see you got he's putting something together. What's going on here?
So this is our screen printing, one of our presses that we have right now. And basically for each color, you burn a new screen and you put the ink through and dry it in the conveyor dryer. So each color, each shirt gets loaded.
And this was the one that you're telling me you do have to have a minimum order of, like, 5 or 10 of these things?
Yeah, 12 items. And your price goes up with the more locations and colors, and your price goes down with quantity.
So what's going on here? I see like he's lifting these things up and down. He's got different colors. Like it looks like it starts out white, and then what's going on?
So what's happening here is when you have a dark color, you have to lay a white underbase. So he's going to put orange on top of the white so that it really pops.
Before we saw the guys putting on a wrap or stickers. Is that what this machine printed this?
Yeah, so it prints the vinyl, it cuts it out, we laminate it, and you can either laminate in matte or gloss, just depending. Vehicles really look better in gloss, so just kind of keep that in mind. And then yeah, it cuts it out and then we can apply it.
Easy peasy. What do these weird looking machines do back here?
So like a really expensive sewing machine.
Oh.
These are a 16 head embroidery machine. So if you ever see anything that's embroidered on a shirt, you use machines like this. The computer, you load the digital image on the computer and it tells the machine exactly where to put the stitch and how many stitches to place on the garment. You hoop it, then you trim it, and you have yourself an embroidered image, whether it be a shirt or a hat.
Thanks for having me today here at StandOut Promotions. We're going to wrap things up here. Comment below your favorite thing that you saw out there, and also I want you to like and subscribe. And without, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for Jennifer for having us.
Yeah, Chris, thank you so much for coming out to StandOut Promotions in Hayden, Idaho. We just really appreciate you and your business, and much success in the future.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you next time.